So after the grueling Manster escape sequence, what does Thracia 776 have in store for you? A bit of a breather actually. Chapter 8 is small, straightforward, and short, but rarely is anything that simple in 776, as there is a guiding objective you need to accomplish, capturing the boss, which can either be very easy or very frustrating depending on how Leafus has turned out. To that, you will need to prepare accordingly, and as if on cue, Chapter 8 now brings you battle preparations. It's likely that most of your team members from Chapter 7 are fatigued, but luckily, you just got Othna and Havan back, so that should help fill in the gaps. You can take up to 8 units, and must have at least 6. You definitely need Finn to accomplish the guiding objective if Leafus can't be used. Seifi can get some much needed experience and assist with all the poison weapons, and if he isn't fatigued, then Fergus can help in capturing the boss. But aside from those, bring whoever you want except Asvel. Chapter 8X is nigh impossible without him, and Chapter 9 is made much easier, so let him take this chapter off to completely recover his stamina. Anyway, utilize the storage to equip your units with whatever gear they need, especially the brave weapons and Crusader scrolls you have, and give someone a spare iron sword to pass on to a unit you'll get at the beginning. Once you start, you'll be introduced to a new comrade, Carrion. There isn't a huge amount to really discuss about Carrion. He's a unit with a prime join time for getting EXP, good growth, a high PCC, and a mounted class that doesn't take away his primary weapon indoors. Carrion doesn't have any fancy skills or a unique personal weapon. He's just an overall really solid nothing to lose unit, so go ahead and train the Eager Beaver. He's basically just Fergus Light, so if you like Fergus Classic, you'll enjoy using Carrion. Anyway, on to the level. Chapter 8's gimmick, if you'll pardon the expression, is that every enemy aside from the boss is armed with a poison weapon. This can be interesting if you don't have any means to heal, since poison can kill, which is why you should bring Seifi here. The 2 houses contain a luck ring and a night proof, and for once I will recommend going to the shop. It sells door keys, and if you have enough money, I would flat out buy 6 of them right away, for use all the way at the end of the game, because, and I'm dead serious here, the final chapter of the game hinges on whether you have enough means of opening doors. Also, Marty is hanging around the enemy team for whatever reason, and he can be re-recruited by talking with Othin or Havan. You know, if you feel like doing that. There are also 25 or so turns of brigand reinforcements from the north of the village and to the northwest point of the river, but really none of these enemies present any real danger aside from number. All your lower level units will have no trouble getting some leveling here, but unfortunately you cannot ride the EXP train forever, as in order to access the Gaiden chapter after this, you need to capture the boss before the enemy phase of turn 15. I say this because the boss here is an unmounted Dragon Knight that will mount on turn 15. You have no means of capturing a mounted unit this early in the game, so if you're on the clock, you're screwed basically. Said Dragon Knight Rume is unfortunately planted on a gate, which means an extra 30 avoid and 10 defense. If you've gotten a single point of build with Leafus, then he can steal the boss's iron sword, leaving him without a weapon and prone to immediate capture by Finn or Fergus. But if he hasn't, you might be in for a ride. Only Finn or Fergus using brave weapons have a realistic means of capturing Rume. Weaken him first with magic swords or strong enough attacks, and pray you're able to have your knights land the hits necessary to bring him down to 0 HP without any of your other units killing him accidentally. Leafus or Laura can still help even without a high build by simply stealing the boss's vulnerary so he doesn't heal all the damage you've inflicted, but aside from that, just do your best and hope you don't need to restart. Anyway, once you have Rume, take his stuff, but do not release him, as that is another part of the objective. Capture the throne while he is still held, and you will go on to Chapter 8X. Deal with whatever remaining enemies you plan to, and capture the mansion to end the chapter. Next time, long single-file hallways, amazing actions by a heroic father, and probably the hardest or second hardest boss in the game. Fun.